Okay, Shannon, this is what's in my bag. I don't have a purse. I just don't use purses because I find them irritating and inconvenient and stuff because it ties up your hand because you have to hold it. So I use a backpack, but the backpack I only take if I know that I'm going to be waiting for a long time, like in the doctor's office or something like that, and I need something to keep myself busy, so I usually have a few things. And inside the backpack is where I keep my pouch, which is what I usually use as a purse. So I'll show you what's in the backpack, and then I'll show you what's in my pouch. So in the backpack I have a pair of gloves for just in case, because I have a weird thing about chemicals and stuff, and so if I happen to be visiting my friend Karen at her art house studio store, then I never know if I'll be using paint or something that stains and whatever, so I like to have that in there. This is just in case I find some kind of food to eat while I'm out there, but I don't have the utensils for it, so I just keep that in there. Always have a pair of earplugs in there because I have sensitive ears, really, and I don't like things as loud as most people do, like in a movie theater or something like that. That pocket is empty. All of these pockets are empty. So is that pen pocket, but I should put a pen in there. I didn't even realize that was there, actually. So I think I will put this main pen right there. So just a regular Bic pen, black one. I love those pens. They're my favorite pens at the moment. A pencil that isn't even sharpened yet because I always like to have something to draw with if I'm out there. I didn't realize I had two of these in there. I only need the one, really, so I'm going to take one out. This is the scratch technique that I like. It ran out of ink. It's just a pen. It's a Pilot G-Tech C4. My husband Franklin really loves these pens, and yeah, these are great for a technique that I love doing in artwork. So I always have one of those around. This eraser is pretty shameful, but it's one of those kneaded erasers. Yeah, it's kind of in bad shape. I should probably replace it, but anyway. And a pair of travel scissors. They don't really work that well, but it's better than not having any at all if I happen to be somewhere and need something. So that's what's in those. I'll put those in there, I think. Now this front pocket, I have a set of 36 Prismacolors, but the set is old, and like the main colors that I use the most are like that. And I also have a pencil in here. I should really go through this and put the colors that I need most in here. And that, I don't know what that white globby thing is. And I also have a black pen in there. And I have a pencil extender right there. And those are handy things. I love those. And all the times that I sharpen my pencils and they keep breaking, I keep those things. I don't know what I'm going to do with them, but I will do something with them someday. At least that's the plan. I think that little glob there is poster putty, and I think I had it in there because I don't remember why. I don't remember what that's doing there. Maybe it's just to help keep the trays in place or something. I don't remember. Anyway, I have a box of Crayola crayons in here just because they're a good way to get some color down if you're out on the road, and you know, if you don't have your usual supplies with you, they're a good thing to use. I have another pencil. These are really great pencils. I don't know why it's still in its thingy. Doesn't need to be in its thingy. I guess because I used to have several in here. So I can put that and just put the pencil back in. I have a set of watercolor pencils, but for some reason I don't have one of them water brushes with it. I should, I suppose. Feminine hygiene stuff. This is one of those scratch things. I had found this at a yard sale and put it in here, where you use your little tool and you scratch an image in the black part, and then it reveals some pretty colors and stuff. There's a safety pin in there. I don't know what that's doing in there. Oh, that's one of the points from the pencil. Okay, so that's what's in that pocket. I've recently gone on a trip back home. If you've watched the video, then you'll know. And so just before I go on such trips, I always empty everything from this backpack and from my pouch, and then put only stuff that I think they will let me go through customs at the airport back in. And I try to keep it like really thin so that this can be my personal carry-on. And in this pocket I have a thing of Kleenex. I should always have Kleenex with me, but I always am finding that I forget to bring them. So that's what's in those ones. Now in the main pocket, I have the pouch that I was telling you about that I use as my purse. I'll show you that in a minute. This cardstock was for a project that I never actually got to that day that I brought it in for. I have a drawing magazine because I keep intending to read this magazine and to work with some of the articles, but I have not yet gotten to it. And tracing paper in here. There's only a few sheets left in this. I had put this in here because I had a plan for a project when I was going in to work with Franklin one day, and I never took it out, and so it just stays in there. Figure why not? It'll come in handy someday probably. I have some scrap paper and some loose leaf for when I want to read or when I want to write down notes, ideas and such, whenever I'm, you know, out there somewhere. A clipboard that usually has one of my pens. Now, that's all that's in the backpack. Now usually I would have a Hanson mixed media. I have one of those in here, but right now it's in my studio room because I'm working in it. And sometimes, depending on the day and the weather and the time of year and all that, sometimes I will stuff a sweater like this one in there in the backpack. And now this is my pouch. It's actually a fanny pack, I guess is the correct term, but I call it my pouch. This is the camera's case. I hook onto there, and it usually has for the camera and another card for the little camera. This is the camera that, well, it's downstairs in my studio room, but it's the case for the camera that it records video, but it doesn't record the sound when it does. So anyway, this little pocket here has another card. It's only a 1 gig, but you know, it's good. That's all that's in that little, I think it's supposed to be a coin pocket, but I put that card in there. And this side has some change. And you probably aren't, but Blade, if you're watching, on the stream the other night, the topic of $2 coins came up. So here's our toonie. Okay, there's our toonie. This one's actually a little bit special. They look slightly different than that usually. But anyway, and this is our $1 coin. This is our loonie. It's called a loonie because it has a loon on it. So that's what's in that little pocket. And I see that I should keep an eye on that because I could lose all my change. Because it looks like it's getting ready to bust through. Anyway, in the main pocket, I have, an old receipt. Doesn't need to be there anymore. Small sketchbook. This is a Canson too. I guess I like the Canson products. Kind of like her, and I ended up turning her into a and I have a few note papers with a note on it. I have an eraser, another pair of scissors. Because usually I have only this with me, I kind of have similar creative stuff in both the pouch and the backpack. I need to find a sharpener for both the backpack and for this. Actually, I think I have a sharpener in here somewhere. We'll see. My keys. And, I do have a sharpener in here. Okay, so I have a sharpener in here, but I need to find one to put in the backpack. A few pencils. I don't know why I have that many in there. I only need the one, really. But a pen, and I think all 3 of these pens have run out. I'll have to check that out. Lead. Yep, but that's it in there. That's it in the main pouch, main pocket, and then in this front pocket I have a little piece of paper with this cute little watercolor set that is falling apart, but it has the little brush, and yeah, it's really adorable. So I have that, and I have a measuring tape, just in case, you never know. Lanyard, in case I want to have just my keys and not the whole pouch and everything else. I just keep it in there because I don't really have a better place to keep it. Oh, that sticker should be with my collection. I found a sticker when we were visiting a museum one day, and it was on my trip back home. My favorite gum. When I was given this little set, it came with this little watercolor pad, so I put that in there. I was excited about it at the time because I thought it was really cool and useful and handy, but it doesn't stand up to the wear and tear. I still use it, but it's in hard shape. And these gum wrappers need to go in my collection of those. I know, it's stupid. I don't know why I'm collecting them. I keep thinking that I'm going to do something with them, something creative and clever and good with them someday, but I never get to it. And this is one of those IKEA rulers, paper ruler that, yeah, I keep that in there too. I don't really need 2, but like I have this one and then this one, but I think this one is longer than this one. I'm not sure. Anyway, there you go. That's what I've got in my bag at the moment. Now, usually this one will probably have a feminine product in there too. Oh yeah, and most of the time there's a lip balm in here. I often will put my cell phone in there. And before I got the cell phone, I used to keep this in there. This usually contained this, which is a little clock. But yeah, but now that I have the cell phone, I use the cell phone instead of this as a clock, so I don't need that anymore in there.